Hello, the Coastal and Heartland National Estuary Partnership is proud to share this video update of our work to support Polk County's water and wildlife efforts. First, a little bit about who the CHNEP is, for those of you who may not be familiar with us. We were formed back in 1995 by Congress when they designated the estuaries and watersheds from Donna Bay to Estero Bay in Southwest Florida as estuaries of national significance. As a result, we were folded into the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's National Estuary Program. We're one of 4 National Estuary Program organizations in Florida and one of 28 in the United States. As such, we receive annual federal funding from Congress to assist in the protection and restoration of water resources and wildlife habitat in the CHNEP area. The CHNEP covers over 5,000 square miles, encompassing 10 counties and 27 cities. Polk County sits at the top of our service area as the headwaters to the Peace River, one of the several major rivers that the CHNEP covers. All of our work supports our collective comprehensive conservation and management plan, also known as our CCMP. This is a 5-year organizational strategic plan that was collectively drafted by all of our partners, and it has 4 action plans focusing on water quality improvement, hydrological restoration, fish, wildlife, and habitat protection, and public engagement. You should have received a mailed copy of this coffee table style book, but please let us know if you'd like additional copies, and it is also electronically available on the chnep.org website. It's an excellent resource and reference on the natural resources and the resource management needs in our area. CHNEP exemplifies the power of partnerships as a public-private partnership that's science and consensus-based, non-regulatory, and citizen-supported. Because of private and non-federal governmental contributions, volunteers, and donated in-kind services, we've been able to provide $19 of restoration for every federal dollar we receive. We appreciate Polk County's continued active participation and financial support towards contributing to the partnership. CHNEP is working to serve Polk County's needs and to meet its goals with numerous Polk Comprehensive Management Plan objectives and policies aligning with the CHNEP CCMP. First, the CHNEP is aiding Polk's desire to improve water quality and promote water conservation. One such project that the CHNEP recently funded in Polk County is the Lake Hancock Restoration Project. You'll see in the photo left the erosion experienced by Hurricane Irma, which increased sedimentation into the lake and removed the natural vegetative plant buffer that filters water entering the lake from a heavily utilized trail at the Circle B Bar Preserve. On the right, you'll see the erosion stabilization and replantings that the CHNEP contributed more than $88,000 towards. Another project that the CHNEP funds is collecting all publicly accessible water quality data and putting it on a web-based public website called the CHNEP Water Atlas. This data with analytical tools and other resources assists water managers and interested public stakeholders in accessing and interpreting information about water quality conditions in our region. The site is continually being upgraded and expanded and requires more than $50,000 annually to maintain. Additionally, CHNEP is working to aid Polk's efforts to protect its wetlands and floodplains. CHNEP supports watershed planning and hydrological restoration to provide the appropriate water levels and flows to natural systems. Another way that we're working to protect wetlands and other environmentally sensitive lands has been to provide economic data showing the positive economic benefits from doing so. This past year, CHNEP contracted economists to complete an in-depth study to determine the economic value of natural resource protection and management in the CHNEP area. They collected and analyzed copious amounts of economic data across multiple sectors to tease out only those directly tied to natural resources. And they determined that the natural resources in the CHNEP area total more than $13.6 billion of economic output annually, generating $3.8 billion in regional income and $146 million in local and state tax revenues. This in turn has supported 148,000 jobs annually, more than the entire company of Google. The economic study also divided those total results into separate water basin areas in the CHNEP. For the Peace River Basin, which includes portions of Polk and several other counties, illustrated in the dark green area in the map, the primary economic sectors were tourism and agriculture. The natural resource protection and restoration in the Peace River Basin generated $3.24 billion annually in economic benefits, including $402 million in property value premiums, $1.49 billion in agricultural production, and $2.3 billion in recreational spending. The study finally also assessed some specific restoration projects, including the Lake Conine Stormwater Treatment Area project. The economists concluded that this project would generate a net economic benefit of $10.2 million for the community, which amounts to $3 of benefits for every dollar spent. The full report is available on the CHNEP website. Finally, the CHNEP is aiding Polk's efforts to promote the conservation of wildlife and native vegetative communities that provide habitat for them, including endangered and threatened species, through promoting and facilitating the protection of these natural wildlife habitats and movement corridors. CHNEP recently hired a team of environmental experts to create a master habitat restoration needs plan for the region, compiling all existing habitat plans and integrating climate science on habitat migration to identify areas needed to preserve important wildlife habitat going forward. The private habitat preservation conservation opportunities areas are outlined in blue, and when combined with the existing public management restoration areas outlined in green in the map to the right, illustrate landscape level habitat corridors and habitat areas that are needed to sustain our native wildlife and endangered species for generations to come. Zooming into the Peace River Basin, you can see in the left map all the privately owned preservation conservation opportunities important for wildlife, including floodplains along the Peace River. Some of these areas are active agricultural production and would be suitable to remain in production with conservation easements to prevent future intensification of use. On the right map are publicly owned areas, with roughly a quarter of those being non-native land cover suitable for restoration to enhance their habitat values. Your participation in the CHNEP partnership helps us to better understand how to serve your needs. We have a policy committee of appointed agency officials and elected leaders, a management committee of staff directors and lead staff, a citizens advisory committee of community leaders, and a technical advisory committee of technical staff and scientists. Each of these committees meets 3 times a year, and currently Polk County has a representative on each of these 4 committees. Thank you very much for your participation. We just want to offer that we are very glad to have Polk as a member of the CHNEP partnership. Thank you. More information can always be found at chnep.org, or you can email me directly, Jennifer Hecker, Executive Director of the CHNEP, at jhecker@chnep.org. Thank you again.